If you watch this show regularly, you may have seen our coverage of the Rhode Island man who faked his own death to evade sex assault charges. Many in the state, including the media, local politicians, and even his own family, believed that Nicholas Alaverdian, a pretty well-known local child welfare advocate, had died in February of 2020 from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But he was alive, and law enforcement tracked him down last December, where he was in a Scottish hospital on a ventilator being treated for COVID. And the now 34-year-old is back in the headlines. The man identified by law enforcement at the hospital as Alaverdian is now claiming that this is all a mistake and that he's actually Arthur Knight, a man who has never even been to the United States. He even had a woman sitting next to him claiming to be his wife who backed his story. Now, we'll hear from him in a moment, but first let's take a look back at how we got here. In early 2020, Alaverdian went on a PR mission to prove he was dying. He called many local reporters who he knew or who had covered him to say his death was imminent. Some of them bought his hoax, reporting shortly thereafter that he had died. And a woman claiming to be his wife confirmed that he had died, and an obituary was published. His life was even eulogized at the Rhode Island State House, where he was praised for his work fighting for children.
I'd like to join in the memory of my friend, and I guess some of the people may know him also, Nicholas Alaverdian, who had a battle with cancer. And it touched me to be honored to get up to say something on his behalf today.
But he was alive and was found in a Glasgow hospital. He's wanted for a 2008 sex assault in Utah, in which he has been connected through DNA. He's also a registered sex offender due to a 2008 Ohio sex assault conviction. The Utah County Attorney's Office says he was able to avoid law enforcement by giving multiple aliases, including his birth name, Nicholas Rossi, and that they believe there are more victims out there in multiple states. And now the man law enforcement say is speaking out. Now this man is speaking out to NewsNation's Kim Kalunian.
Wearing an oxygen mask and speaking with an accent.
I am Arthur Knight.
But shocker, the man was not able to produce a birth certificate proving that he was in fact Arthur Knight. But in a separate interview with the BBC, he says this is all just a huge misunderstanding.
You are not Nicholas Alaverdian or any one of the other 16 aliases that they say you have.
The 16 aliases? Oh, typos. I don't know this man.
And an interesting moment where he refused to show his arms to the reporter.
We heard in court, though, that you were identified by tattoo or scarring on the body.
That's not true.
Is it worth seeing your left forearm? Because, I mean, that tattoo had that picture had a tattoo on the left forearm. There.
I showed you the left forearm. Just now. I just showed you a photo of.
Yeah, but could you just raise up?
Honestly, I'm exhausted. It's nothing personal. I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, nothing personal. And he says any allegations of him being a rapist are false.
To put bluntly, are you a rapist?
No. I'm a lot of things. I have many flaws. But to call me a rapist is so out of this world.
And Mr. Knight says that he's looking forward to having his name cleared.
When I am released and my innocence is proven, I will be in Rhode Island one day and celebrating with everyone there to meet you all, because I may not be Nicholas Rossi, but I'm Arthur Knight.
Here's something else to worry about. He's currently free on bond in Scotland, waiting for his extradition hearing, which is scheduled for next month. Joining me now, the NewsNation reporter who spoke with Mr. Knight, Kim Kalunian. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so this story is obviously nuts. How certain are we that they have the right guy?
Yeah, Dan, thanks for having me on. And that's really the million-dollar question, right? That's at the center of these hearings that are going to be happening in Scotland. One is scheduled for tomorrow. We know another one is going to be happening in May. And of course, if Arthur Knight was here with us right now, he would say, they have the wrong guy. I am not Nicholas Rossi or Nicholas Alaverdian. And he says that he might have similarities to this person. For example, their childhoods are very similar. They were both essentially orphans when they were young and brought up in foster care, eventually adopted. But he said, because of those similarities, it doesn't necessarily mean that I am the same person. However, prosecutors here in the States say they have very compelling evidence, whereas the man who says he's Arthur Knight, as you mentioned, doesn't have any documentation to back that up. Prosecutors here say they have DNA, fingerprints, photographic evidence that say, yes, this is the same guy.
Now, Kim, I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position, and if you're not comfortable answering this, you can let me know. But it seems like you're taking his account seriously. Like there's actually like maybe a chance that what he's saying is true. Are you just being extra careful, or is there actually some reason to believe that his story might be true?
Well, Dan, you and I both know it's not up to me to make this judgment call. A neutral magistrate in the UK is going to decide whether they should extradite the man who identifies himself as Arthur Knight to the States, and if he is indeed, Nicholas Alaverdian or Nicholas Rossi. Not up to me to make that judgment call, but, right. I did listen to what he had to say, and, we wanted to tell both sides of the story here. We have spoken to Dave Levitt, the Utah County prosecutor here in the States. We wanted to talk to the man who identifies himself as Arthur Knight and put his side of things out there as well.
Look, and this is why you're a good reporter, because you do present both sides of the story, even when one of the sides sounds kind of absurd. But that's why you're good at what you do, and I have opinions on things. So let me ask you, this question of him being freed on bail, aren't there concerns that, that this is a guy who has fled, who it sure sounds like is lying, or at least the authorities believe he's lying about who he is? Freeing him on bail a concern?
Yeah, I think if you ask the authorities here in the States, there is certainly a concern, which is why they want him to be extradited out of Scotland back here to the U.S. But he would argue that, of course, he's not a flight risk. He says he has been very sick. We know he was diagnosed with COVID last year and hospitalized for it. He said he had, multiple comas and now suffers from pulmonary fibrosis, is confined, as we could see, to that wheelchair and utilizes an oxygen tank, both things he says are necessities.
Let me play something about that. You mentioned that because part of the BBC interview that he did, he was asked about the wheelchair and whether it was all a prop, et cetera. Let's listen.
There's been a lot of talk in the press that Arthur is, sat in a wheelchair for the sake of it.
It's a prop. They're calling it a prop.
From my point
Can I try to stand up? Do you want me to sign a waiver?
Just don't fall over.
So I have to hold his full weight.
I mean, all right, if this guy is for real, I am forever damned for laughing at that. But it just all feels so fake that, it's just a little bit hard to keep a straight face, in addition to the fact that my entire crew here was not helping me by laughing as well. All right, Kim, I don't want to put you in a tough spot in making judgments. You got a good interview with him, and, I think it's a fascinating story that we are going to continue to follow here. And Kim, I know you're going to stay on it too, and we look forward to having you back. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.